Thanks, Joe. Several ponies feel lucky to be alive this week, as local lunatic Pinkie Pie took them on a harrowing ride through Ponyville on her new Friendship Express locomotive. She offered riders what she claimed would be a fun, exciting experience that they would not soon forget. This turned out to be quite true, as the riders later exited the train shaking, traumatized, and sobbing like little fillies. Here is an amateur video taken by a pony on the scene just prior to the incident.
I'm Pinkie Pie. Hop on my train.
Witnesses said that Pinkie sang a disturbing tune as she put the train engine into gear. "The pony train has come to town," she proclaimed. "Now we're riding all around. Riding front, riding back, round and off the track." That last line was met with a chorus of gasps and screams from her passengers, who were not aware that the train would be jumping the track and barreling out of control through Ponyville. Later, some of them described what it was like to be going off the rails on a crazy train.
"It was horrible. I thought we were finished for sure. Not to mention all the ponies that again and ran screaming for their lives. I haven't been that terrified since the time Pinkie thought combining cupcakes and fireworks was a good idea. Firecakes, Pinkie? Really? Who could survive eating one of those?"
Pinkie is the most incompetent engineer ever. At one point, she actually left the engine and came back into the passenger car to hand out balloons. Never mind that we were careening out of control through town square at the time. We just looked at her and said, "Pinkie, who's driving the train? Get back in the engine." And she said, "You silly, why do I need to stay in there? It's not like I can steer this thing anyway." And that's when I knew we were all going to die.
Now, to better help you visualize what happened, I've went ahead and constructed the scale model representation of the Friendship Express, so that you can better understand what happened during those tragic events. Wow, Pinkie, your train is super awesome! I love riding— Wait, what are you doing? Pinkie, no, not the ponies! Oh my gosh, you're running them over! Oh, they're all being crushed underneath that cold, unyielding steel! Oh my god, it's horrible! It's horrible! Steering controls were not the only omission in Pinkie's brilliant design. Though she had outfitted the locomotive with the latest in party gadgets, from confetti cannons to cupcake dispensers to a kicking sound system, she had neglected to install any means of actually stopping the train, as the engine control panel consisted of a single red button labeled "Woo Woo." Later, in a burst of Pinkie logic that could only come from her bizarre, twisted mind, she explained that she figured her Friendship Express was like one big moving party, and why would she ever want to stop a party? In response, one of her passengers commented that most parties are not 6-ton speeding death machines that can tear through buildings like tissue paper. To make matters worse, Pinkie's train was barreling right towards the cliff at the edge of town, which strangely seems to only exist when there is an out-of-control vehicle heading straight for it. In desperation, Pinkie's friends made a futile attempt to stop the train. Fluttershy quickly discovered two things: that her stair did not work on machines, and that standing in front of a moving train is a good way to find out what massive head trauma feels like. Twilight proved to be useless, as the one book in the library about how to stop speeding trains had been checked out, and a similar book about stopping speeding public buses rigged with explosives turned out to not be very helpful. Applejack realized too late that lassoing a locomotive is not very intelligent. On the other hoof, she was able to do a great screaming gazelle impression before being flung into the side of a barn. This left Rainbow Dash, and although she was about to attempt a daring, ego-boosting rescue that she would have bragged about for weeks afterward, her moment of self-serving glory was denied as the locomotive suddenly slowed to a halt, its giant C batteries powering it having finally died. Rainbow Dash lamented thusly.
It's not fair! I was gonna swoop in and save the day! Me! Then I could have been a totally awesome hero again, and every pony would have been all Rainbow Dash, and I could have done my super cool wiggle dance. But no! The train had to stop on its own. Stupid train. I should have been the one to save every pony. Who's going to want my autograph now? Well, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and let this happen. As soon as I find some more batteries, I'm going to get that locomotive rolling towards its doom again. Back on the train, every pony. And this time, no one gets off until I rescue them.
Don't worry, Pinkie, I'll save the train. Here I come. Wait, why did the train stop? No, I was supposed to save the train. Me. Wah. My ego can't take it. Thankfully, no one listened to Rainbow's demands, and she eventually flew back to Cloudsdale to sulk. As a result of this incident, Mayor has passed an ordinance declaring that Pinkie Pie not be permitted within 100 feet of any locomotive without being accompanied by a responsible adult. She is also no longer allowed to build her own trains or watch any episodes of Thomas the Tank Engine, as she may get more crazy ideas. Many ponies wonder why the mayor hadn't done this sooner, as this is not the first time Pinky has caused problems with a vehicle. A few months back, she was implicated in an incident concerning an RC car, where, according to the police report, she was driving near and driving far, driving over here and driving over there. Pinkie Pie wanted to drive everywhere. Apparently, Pinkie decided that this included sidewalks, playgrounds, and the insides of buildings. This, however, does not compare to the subsequent incident involving a large piece of farm equipment. The words, "I'm Pinkie Pie, hop on my combine harvester," still haunt the nightmares of many ponies to this very day. This is your last chance, dear sweet Trixie. Confess your undying love for me, and perhaps I'll let you live. Never, you fiend! I'm so disappointed to hear that. In that case, I'm afraid this is where we part company, and you part in twain.